Not bad at all.
Not bad.
Hey guys, Steve from Flite Brothers here, and today we're checking out the new Foxeer HS1197 Monster V2 camera. Now this is the 1200 TVL 16:9 FPV camera, and you can see the specs there: 2.5 lens IR block, input voltage of 5 to 40 volts, and of course that awesome 1200 TVL resolution. Before I go on, I just want to thank Foxeer for hooking us up. They have us beta testing the Legend 3 camera, which you might have seen some footage on. They sent us this Monster V2 to check out, and also sent us a bunch of sets of the new Cyclone 5046C traps we're going to be checking out too, so stay tuned for that. But back to this camera. This is the V2 version. I'm going to take this out of the box so you can see just how cool this is. The new version is the blue colored aluminum bodied camera. Stand by. Okay, boy, this box is a total pain to open up, but I hope it's worth it. Good grief. All right. So as I was saying, the V2 of this monster is the all-new aluminum-bodied version. It's blue, all aluminum body, which is just spectacular looking and feeling. And one of the nice things that is added on with the blue aluminum bodied cameras, they did the same thing with the new arrows, is they actually have a threaded body right here for the screw. So on the other versions they had a sunk in threaded like a threaded nut almost sunk into these, and they were popping out. Before that you had to thread right into the plastic. Such a pain. So this is awesome. You might notice this is basically the exact same size as any of your standard HS1177s and your Foxeer arrows, all those same standard size, nothing out of the ordinary. And the other thing that they added with this is the built-in OSD, which is pretty cool. And because of that, you've got a 7-pin connector here, very similar to the Arrow, the newest revisions of the Arrow. The voltage, ground, video, audio, OSD, ground, and the voltage sensor. So this will have its own built-in voltage sense, just like the Arrow, except this is the 1200 TVL Monster Cam, which is pretty sweet. So let's set that down there, go to the rest of the packaging. Equally as hard to get out, we've got a typical user manual, card, and your box of accessories. I assume this is going to include, oh, there's a standard lens cap. I will go ahead and add that onto the lens while we're not using it, as well as the mount. This is of course the newer style aluminum angled mount that allows you to lock it into whatever angle you're going to use it in. And you also have your OSD board and your standard hookups to connect it. So new body, aluminum, threaded, the standard mount, and built-in OSD, which is fantastic. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tuck this into my Diatone Tyrant S build, which you can see right here. Right now this has just a typical CMOS 800 TVL camera in the front, and I'm going to pop this off and I'm going to fit this monster in here. Alright, so I'm back from getting this installed on my Tyrant frame, and one thing I wanted to point out is that the protrusion there for the threaded part of the case sticks out beyond the width of the case, and the original casing is the width before that protrusion. So some frames, like this particular frame, for instance, has very little tolerance for anything bigger than the traditional HS1177 case. So when I tried to get this in here, that bump actually was hitting against the frame here, so I had to add some extra spacers in order to get it fit properly. I also could have ground down these to make it work, but I decided to add spacers, and the only reason really is just that protrusion for the threaded stuff. I'm not complaining about it. I think this is a much better design than what there was. I just want you to be aware that if you have a frame that's a really tight fit for an HS1177, you might have a little bit of issue getting that mounted in there. But nevertheless, it went in nice. I tested it out a little bit already. I'm going to show you some comparison videos, but before that, let me just give you a quick rundown of the features on here. I'm going to show you a DVR video of the camera so you can see how the OSD looks, and also you can see here that right here, this wire hanging out is the wire for connecting the OSD for changing settings, which I left accessible in case I want to do that. So it's nice to be able to leave that somewhere where you can access it really easily and continue to work on it. But I'm going to go ahead and plug a battery into this and get the OSD going. Alright, battery's in, and let's switch over to the OSD. So looking at the OSD, you can see that on the bottom left you have the Foxeer, in the middle you have the 4S, so it automatically senses the 4S and 14.9 volts, and on the right you have the timer. So in seeing that, you can see how that the OSD is functioning with the voltage sense. So as far as I know, this is customizable. You can turn this information completely off if you're going to use your own OSD, and you can customize the Foxeer to your call sign if you'd like to, using the included OSD board. I am not going to show how to do that, but what I do want to do is a quick comparison of the HS1177 to the Foxeer Monster 2 so you can see. Now, DVRs are not the greatest at comparing your video quality, and what you experience is probably going to be a little different depending on your goggles and setup. But I just wanted to state that what I do notice between these two videos is that there is definitely a better and greater detail in the Monster 2 versus the HS1177, and this is on my crummy DVR screen. So if I were to have a actual high definition goggles or better screen, I would definitely be able to notice a larger difference between the two. Also worth noting is that my DVR slightly cut off the bottom and top of the Monster 2 image, which is why you don't see the OSD and why the perspective seems a little unusual. Other than that, these are untouched. So take a look for yourself, decide how you think the differences are, and that's going to conclude it for the video. So enjoy these comparisons, and we'll catch you next time.